I was born in Ukraine. My family fled the Soviet Union when I was 7 in search of a better future and a better way of life. We came to America so we could practice our Jewish faith openly and publicly. In Brooklyn, we started anew.
Stella and I grew up just miles apart, but in parallel worlds. I am also from Brooklyn. My neighborhood was a rich mix of ethnicities, including Jews and African Americans, a typical New York City melting pot. But we all know diversity doesn't always come smoothly, and that communities don't always see eye to eye. But living in such a mixed area taught me about the Jewish community, and it showed me that we are more alike than we are different.
I found pro-Israel activism in college. During my first semester at the University of Michigan, there was an Israel divestment campaign on campus. I looked at the protesting students and wondered why they weren't directly lobbying our student leaders. And then I met the AIPAC campus activists, and that is exactly what they were doing. When I realized that AIPAC reached out to student leaders, I ran for student government. It was in student government that I began to interact with leaders in the African American community. The friendships I built at school stayed with me when I moved back to New York. They carried with me into my professional work and eventually into my activism with AIPAC.
And that is how we met. I've spent my career in New York City politics, and in 2014, AIPAC invited me to travel to Israel with its education foundation. In Israel, I met a woman who described her life during the war in 2014. How she had just seconds to grab her young children and run for cover from incoming rockets. And I asked her, "Why don't you leave?" Then she asked me, "Would you leave your home?" And I knew my answer was no. When terrorists attacked New York City, our city, I did not leave. Neither of us did. When I met Stella, I told her about that conversation in Israel and how everything became clear to me. The issues that impact the Middle East impact all of us.
Tiffany and I have found that we make a stronger case when we work together. Tiffany was friends with people who became several of the members of Congress who represent our community. Through AIPAC, I've built political relationships with those same members. So Tiffany and I, we lobby together. We host events together. We support each other. Polls always show how broad American support is for Israel, how it crosses religious and cultural lines. Well, when Tiffany and I walk into a meeting, we are proof of that.
With AIPAC and with Stella, I can help be a bridge between the African American and Jewish communities. With AIPAC, I realized I could connect the worlds that my hometown could not. Thank you, AIPAC. For finding a way to meet people where they are, for building true relationships, and for realizing that our differences make our movement stronger.
Thank you.